Hi, hello, and welcome to my messy bookshelves. Today, I just wanted to do a little wrap up, or a little recap rather, of what I've been reading this week. So, what should have been a Friday recap, but spoiler alert, it is not Friday. So, I just wanted to share what I have been reading this week. I have been pretty terrible at finishing books the last couple of weeks. I think the only book that I finished this week was actually an audiobook, and it was a reread. So I'll start off with that one. So the first thing that I read this week, or the first thing that I listened to this week, was Sparkling Cyanide by Agatha Christie. So it is, as I said, a reread for me. So it was kind of just a palate cleanser. I was listening to it on my commute and while I was doing some spring cleaning. So that follows a group of friends, acquaintances who are meeting for a fancy dinner at a luxury hotel, and one of the party is murdered or dies at the table. And then this reoccurs the following year, almost on the anniversary of the first death. So highly recommend. It's a very good Agatha Christie. It's not my favorite, but it is a very good book. So that was the only thing that I finished. The things that I am reading this week, I will start off with Little House on the Prairie. So I am reading this with my daughter, and we have made some progress. I think we are on chapter 18. So it is a very cumbersome edition because it is, I think all of them are illustrated, but this one is like the read aloud version. So we are on the chapter, if you are familiar with these books, where Pa goes to town. The incomparable Charles Ingalls. I am a very big fan of Pa in this series. So we are reading this together. We are taking turns reading chapters and pages to one another. So I don't think we'll finish it this month. We might be able to, but I am not rushing it. We will finish it. And we are both very much enjoying it. The next thing that I have been reading is My Mammoth. What can I say about this one? So I am enjoying it more than I thought I would. So there are some sections of it that I have enjoyed. I'm not very far into it. I think I am on page 95. I really love this edition. I really love the beginnings of each chapter. If I could get to one, where it shows the characters in the upcoming chapter and how it relates to the previous chapter. So that's really nice in this edition. And I definitely won't finish this one this month. I'm going to slowly pick away at it. I am reading a few pages every day. However, I have been a little turned off by the main character, Genji. Someone please tell me how to say that. But if you are familiar with this book, I have been a little creeped out, for lack of a better phrase, by some of his actions and his way of repeatedly approaching young women and girls, and how he continuously does that. So I'm hoping in the future that he goes through some maturity. And yes, I realize this book was written a very long time ago in a culture that is much different than my own. However, it is a little off-putting sometimes to read some of his encounters with these young ladies. So I will continue, but it is not my first priority this month. The next book is The Haunting of Hill House. So we have, I think I am only on chapter 4 of this one. Again, this one is not my top priority because I have another top priority, as you will see in a moment. But we have Dr. Montague, and he is descending on Hill House with 3 other guests, and he is looking to discover the cause behind the hauntings said to happen in this house. So he brings with him some other individuals who have had some experience, whether they wanted to or not, with some paranormal experiences. I haven't gotten to any of the really scary bits yet, so we'll see if this book turns out to be too terrifying for me, because I love spooky, I love unsettling, but I am not a horror fan. So if it gets too bloody or too crazy, I may put it to the side. We shall see. But moving on, we have the one I have been putting the most effort into this month, and that has been Middlemarch by George Eliot. And this book I have been thoroughly enjoying. This book, I am currently on chapter 52. So it is past halfway in March, and I am a little over halfway in Middlemarch. So we have here the town of Middlemarch. We have various characters. We have some unwise marriages. We have debt, the consequences of getting into debt, especially in those times. We have some political upheaval, and we have a whole cast of characters whose storylines are intertwined in some sort of way, because they either live in Middlemarch or they live close to Middlemarch. And I did not expect, with a cast of characters that large, that I would be invested in all of them, but I am. And there have been some very surprisingly page-turning little bits in here. There was one scene where there was a reading of the will, and I was like on the edge of my seat for the reading of this will. So I am loving this, and I think I will finish this month, because that's essentially what I am doing when I am not adulting and working. So, I mean, yesterday I was sitting reading this at the dining room table when my husband came sniffing around for dinner, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot to finish making dinner. So, yeah, it's kind of consuming me right now, but I am looking forward to sharing my thoughts about this book when I finish it. But yeah, that is it for what I am reading this week, and this will be the last tomorrow will be the last week of March, so yeah. If you have stuck around with me this long, I appreciate it, and I hope to see you in my next video.